Hi, Zach Yusuf here. You're watching 7 Days, bring you some of the top stories from the last week. At the top of the show, South African Paralympic gold medalist Oscar Pistorius was sentenced to 6 years in jail for the murder of his girlfriend Reeva Steenkamp, the latest twist in a trial that has gripped the world. The state and large sections of the South African public had called for Pistorius to receive no less than the prescribed minimum 15 years sentence for murder, saying Pistorius had shown no remorse for the killing. However, Judge Thokozile Masipa disagreed, accepting the defense's arguments for a lesser punishment.
I am of the view that a long term of imprisonment will not serve justice in this matter.
It was not clear whether the state would appeal the verdict. Dressed in a dark suit, the 29-year-old stared straight ahead as Masipa read out the sentence. Pistorius was found guilty of murdering Steenkamp by an appeals court last December. He had initially received a 5-year sentence for manslaughter conviction in 2014, handed down by Masipa, a ruling derided by women's groups as being too lenient. Pistorius will not appeal the 6-year prison sentence, his defense team said. Coming up, Super Typhoon Nepartak slammed into eastern Taiwan early on Friday, driving thousands of people from their homes, disrupting power supplies and forcing the cancellation of more than 500 flights, emergency authorities said. Typhoon Nepartak, which brought gusts of up to 234 kilometers per hour, cut power in 6 villages in Hualien and brought heavy rainstorms in the areas. 2 deaths and 66 injuries have been reported. Bullet train service had been suspended and more than 300 international and 254 domestic flights cancelled, an emergency services website showed. As many as 15,400 people were evacuated from their homes in preparation for the storm, whilst 187,830 households suffered power outages, emergency officials said. Moving along, the death toll from a suicide bombing in Baghdad last Sunday has reached 292, Iraqi's health ministry said on Thursday. The attack, claimed by the militant group Islamic State, which government forces are trying to eject from large parts of the north and west of the country, was the deadliest bombing in Iraq since US-led forces toppled Saddam Hussein 13 years ago.
لحد الآن تم نقل بحدود 292 جثة، 115 جثة شهيد تم التعرف عليها مدوية وسلمت، وهناك 177 جثة. الجثة قد تكون جثة وقد تكون مجموعة أشلاء. الإجراءات في الطب العادي الدوام صباحا ومساء.
More than 200 people were wounded in the attack last Sunday in a busy shopping street in the mainly Shiite Karada district of central Baghdad. About 23 of the wounded were still in hospital, Health Ministry spokesman Ahmed Al-Rudaini told Reuters. Up next, 3 Dallas police officers were killed by snipers on Thursday as protests were being held in the downtown area over the fatal police shootings of black men in Minnesota and Louisiana this week, the police chief said. Dallas Police Chief David Brown said in a statement 2 snipers shot 10 officers, 3 of whom were killed in what officers believe is a coordinated attack. 2 officers were in surgery, 1 in critical condition, and no suspects in custody. Officials also said 4 Dallas Transit officers were shot, but their condition was unknown at the time of reporting. Finally, NASA's Juno spacecraft capped a 5-year journey to Jupiter on Monday with a do-or-die engine burn that looped it into orbit to probe the origins of the biggest planet in the solar system and how it impacted the rise of life on Earth, the U.S. Space Agency said.
NASA did it again. That says it all to me. And I am so happy to be part of the team that did that. I mean, this team has worked so hard, and we have just such great people. And it's almost like a dream coming true right here.
Launched from Florida nearly 5 years ago, Juno needed to be precisely positioned ignite its main engine at exactly the right time, and keep it firing for 35 minutes to become only the second spacecraft to orbit Jupiter. Once in position to begin its 20-month science mission, Juno will fly egg-shaped orbits to peer through the planet's thick clouds, map its gargantuan magnetic field, and probe through the crushing atmosphere for evidence of a dense inner core. The probe will also hunt for water in Jupiter's thick atmosphere. So massive congratulations, NASA, on a job very, very well done indeed. Until next time, have a great week.